A woman suddenly finds herself blocked by a mysterious wall. She can clearly see the other side, but no matter how hard she tries, she can't cross over. Reaching out to touch it, she finds the wall seamless without any cracks, so she and her dog set off in another direction. She spots two elderly people ahead and rushes forward, excited to ask for help. But in the next moment, she's stopped by an unseen wall just like before. No matter how loudly she shouts, they can't hear her. The water in the old man's hand flows, the leaves rustle in the wind, but the people remain motionless. Witnessing this eerie scene fills her heart with fear. It's as if the outside world has been forever paused. But the woman could never have known she'd be trapped here. For 3 whole years she roams the entire Alps without finding any way out. But how did this wall appear? We learn that the woman had gone to the Alps for a vacation with friends, bringing along a dog. Arriving at the inn, she felt tired. Her friends went for a walk down the mountain and she stayed behind with the dog. Waking up the next morning, she finds her friends haven't returned, and the unusual silence unsettles her, prompting her to go out with her dog in search of them. As they cross an intersection, the dog suddenly yelps in fright. The woman rushes to check, finding the dog petrified, refusing to move. She leads the way, occasionally looking back to call the dog, but the dog, tail between its legs, takes off in another direction. With no other choice, she continues on her own. She suddenly feels like she's hit something. Stunned, she reaches out to touch a clean, smooth surface with a bit of give, an invisible wall yet completely unseen. She feels along the wall but finds no gaps. Is she trapped by the air itself? Thus she spends 15 days trapped in the Alps, checking the wall daily, but it never disappears. After 20 days, the friends who brought her never return. 2 months pass, and she records everything that happens each day, observing the elderly couple through binoculars. But months go by and they don't move, leading her to question if they're even real. On the brink of a mental breakdown, she resolves to escape this bizarre place. She drives a red sports car, turns the music up full blast and floors the accelerator. But then unexpectedly the car crashes and is wrecked, leaving her injured, while the air wall remains unaffected. On the 127th day of being trapped, she hears a sound outside and discovers a drenched cat, which she takes in. This marks the first part of her ordeal. She has gained a new companion, and their small group begins to grow. They rely on each other for survival. But with winter approaching and their food supplies dwindling, she takes on the responsibility of providing for the household. She starts to dig up the ground to plant potatoes, learns to hunt, assists the cat in giving birth, and even excels in helping cows with their deliveries. As time passed, another year went by. She seemed to have adapted to life here, with fresh air, beautiful scenery, and the company of animals, no longer feeling the sting of loneliness. Until one day she found a map in the car, reigniting her hope of finding a way out. The next day, following the map, she arrived at a forest. There she noticed the wood stacked behind a logging truck seemed oddly disturbed, as if recently moved. Approaching cautiously, her progress was halted by an invisible barrier. Yet again an unseen wall dashed her hopes. Despite exploring the entire Alps, she found no escape. Time flew and she realized she had been trapped for 3 whole years. On this particular day, a man suddenly appeared in her home. A blonde foreigner, he looked as if he hadn't eaten in a long time. He killed his own cow with an axe and also killed her beloved dog, her last pillar of emotional support and the closest thing she had to family. Without a second thought, she grabbed her shotgun and shot the man dead. Grieving over her dying dog, she didn't ponder where the man had come from or how he had shattered her understanding of this enclosed world. Returning home, she filled the last piece of writable paper with her records. Unlike Robinson Crusoe, who was fortunate enough to rejoin society, she wondered if her fate was to die alone in this solitude. She had created a secluded world for herself, a place where her fragile heart was imprisoned, devoid of the concept of time, much like the neighbors who remained forever frozen in their daily tasks. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this.